today. If you can see me, let me know that you can see me. Let me see your comments in the comment section. Good morning, everybody. Yes, we are live. It's day 4, right? Yes. It's day 4 on sex educate your child like a pro. All right. I have some people do some video, reviews for us. We wouldn't mind you to do a lot more video reviews for us. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Today we're going to be looking at tech conversations. All right. I hope that you've been able to do your worksheets, take home assignments, and all the things that you were supposed to do as at yesterday. You're going to give me a minute. I want to make sure that I have my earpiece on so that we won't have the echoes. All right, just give me a minute, please. Thank you. All righty, we here. Okay. All right, so you are welcome to day 4. On this day 4, we are looking at tech conversations. Aside tech conversation, we're also looking at countering LGBTQ. Please let me say this. If you missed the session on any day, all you need to do is to click on the same link and catch replay. There's no need, saying, oh, where's the replay link? It's the same link that takes you to the replay, okay? All right, I just thought I should say this because I've seen all that, oh, we can replay. And if it's not playing, oh, my volume is really down. Someone is complaining about my volume. Is there any other person that is complaining about my volume? Please do let me know. Any other complaints about my volume, please? Please let me get reviews before I continue. Any other complaints about my volume, please? Your volume is fine. All right. So if your volume isn't good, so maybe you should actually take a look at your own end and deal with that from that end, please. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for following. All right. Also, if you cannot click on the link and watch, please use your browser. Do not click on it to do all those YouTube saver and all of the other YouTube things that we use. It can only go through your YouTube community or you go through the browser, right? Loud and clear. Thank you so much. Someone said, finally, I got a chance to be live here. Well done, Soleil. All right, thank you so much. I can see that I can be heard loud and clear. All righty, let's shoot. It's day 4. How tech influences sex conversations and countering the confusion about LGBTQ. Keep your questions as your questions are coming. You remember the rules. Your questions are going to come at the end of the conversation because I would need to flow so that I don't, the questions do not counter all the things, right, that we are trying to do. And then also, if you hear anything that is like a light bulb moment to you, like we always say, simply go to the comment section, put it there, or you can share the fire emojis. When you put the comment, remember to also share the fire emojis in the comment section. If you're here and you're excited, hit the like button on your YouTube channel as you're watching. Please hit the like button for us. Let's know that you are here for value. All right. Thank you so much for all the people that are coming live today. I am also excited to see that you're joining us live today. How tech influences sex conversations and countering the confusion about LGBTQ. And then I would like to make this announcement. A lot of us have reached out to us to ask different questions on the course that I had mentioned yesterday, We're going to share how you can get into that course by tomorrow if you would want to take advantage of that. All right. So we would also like you to please follow through. One of the only ways that you can have results when it comes to these sessions is that you're following through and that you are doing. I like the way that I say it. Miracles, faith comes by hearing. Miracles come by doing. Without doing, there is no miracle at all. All right. So you can have faith, you hear it, oh yes, I believe I can do it and all of that. But for it to really happen, you need to actually be able to do it. All right. Thank you so much for being here again and again. So today we are looking at tech conversation. A lot of the times I have seen parents worrying about game addictions, worrying about, so many things, in the lives of their children and all of that. But the main challenge is there's actually much more. There's actually much more to all of the things. There is much more. And it's that much more that we are looking at today. All right, we are looking at today. So we are faced with phones. We're faced with tablets. We're faced with social media. We're faced with apps. We're faced with texting and all of that. All right, we're faced with all kinds of things staring at the children at a young age. So when we're now faced with questions that didn't used to be there before. We now have questions like children are now asking questions like, when is the right time to give my parents are asking questions like, when is the right time to give my children gadgets? When is the right time to give my children gadgets? You're now hearing questions like, would they be able to manage these gadgets properly? Will it be a tool of distraction? These are questions that come to us daily. How am I sure my teen will be safe online? Now, these are the questions that are now trolling us every day on tech. And today we are here saying, should we be worried about tech? Should we be worried about tech? These are the questions that parents are asking in a bid to assure the safety of their children online. But then the question again is, who is satisfactorily answering these all-important questions? Who is answering this question? I remember one time in the academy when we did, when should I give my child a phone? That was actually when we launched the Family Media Guide, and we said, before you give your child a phone, there has to be a guide. Giving your child a phone without a guide is as akin to giving them a car to drive without actually really teaching them how to drive. Okay, so why must we have tech conversations as part of our conversations in sex conversation? Why is it important? The tech conversation gives you the leverage, right, to reinforce your family values in your child. When you're having tech conversation, it is the time that you can actually reinforce what is allowed in your home, what is not allowed in your home, the things that should happen and shouldn't happen. It sets the tone of your teen's relationship with technology and the use of these devices. Without tech conversations, then there won't be anything. There won't be a tone. Your children will not understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. It helps you to educate your children on the world of the web, their online safety, and how they can make technology work for them, not to them. One of the things that we are constantly doing is that we're pushing technology to our children. They are becoming consumers of technology instead of being tech savvy. I say that unfortunately, we are grooming people who are social media savvy instead of people who are tech savvy. A lot of our teenagers, all they know how to do is to be on social media. Social media is not tech. That is not even it's just a part, a fraction of it. So for this tech conversation will help you put all of these in perspective. The internet is your new teacher who has no filter. The internet has no filter, and that is the new child teacher. It means that with just a tab, your children are going to have access to the world of limitless information, good or bad. That's what it means. All right. So today, children don't even bother asking their parents questions or even question their teachers like adults. If they have access to the internet, all they do is to ask who? Uncle Google. They ask Uncle Google and they get served the buffet of all options. When they type their question on Google, there's a buffet. And that buffet, they make a choice at their level of, choice, choosing and all of that. So they make a choice and then they just get it in. It brings to fore the question of value. Where will your children, I want us to put that in the comment section, where will my children learn the most important lessons in life? From me or from the internet? I say that again. It brings us to fore to the questions of value that we must ask ourselves this morning. Where will my children learn the most important lessons in life? From me or from the internet? It's something that we need to sit back and actually think about. The third conversation in this regard will help you prepare your children with diverse knowledge available online and how they can filter what they learn or what they do not learn. Believe it or not, the third conversation is a key tool when you are having the conversation on sex. Let me just share with you the teen-related tech realities that we have today. Today's teens and preteens spend more time online than ever before. That is a reality. Number two, today's teens and preteens know a lot about technology than most adults. Let me tell you what I was sharing with the parents in the inner circle sometime. I said to them that, do you know what your children call you? Do you know what your teenagers and your preteens, when I'm talking about preteens, I'm talking about 8, I'm talking about 9, I'm talking about 10, 11, your teenagers. Do you know what they call you? They call you BBT. You know the meaning of BBT? Born before technology. That's what they call you. So they know that you don't know anything about tech. So they look at you and they just say, this person is just a BBT, born before technology. They call you all sorts. BBS, born before social media. BBT, born before technology, because they know that they can navigate the world much more than you. All right? Teens have the power, all right, to build, positive online reputation. They have the power and become good digital citizens. There's such a thing as being good digital citizens. As you're teaching your children to become good citizens in real life, there is also such a thing to becoming good digital citizens. All right? I like the comments. Let's even be showing them. Yes, where will my children learn the most important lessons in life? Okay, let's put someone who has completed the statement. All right, thank you, Luatosin. So it is important for you to understand that these are important. All right, so we have established why. Why do I need, we've established all of these questions. We've also established why we need to have the tech conversation. Then we've also looked at the teen-related tech realities. And then now we're looking at, when do I start having tech conversation? I am of the opinion that tech conversation starts the moment you have your child. Even before your child can see a television, that's when tech conversation starts. Do you know why? Because before your child even gets to the point of getting a gadget and all of that, you need to start using, vital tech conversations with them. How do I start these tech conversations? How do I start this conversation? Now, let me say this. Tech conversations refer to various engagements, conversations, actions taken to educate your child about gadgets, the world of web, the do's and the don'ts, and how to have a healthy relationship and make the most out of technology. Tech conversation isn't just a conversation. It's not just a conversation. Tech conversation is what you say to your child. It is how you model technology use yourself. It's how you model technology use yourself. It's how you spend time on those apps, on those platforms, and more. In essence, it starts from day zero. That's when technology starts. From day zero. Where they can watch you and where they can learn from you. Remember what we said about sex conversations? We said that sex conversation, the first thing that happens to sex conversation is that it begins with you. We already established that on day one. We already established that on day one. All right? So it is important that you begin to understand that. So it's not a one-time conversation. It's not something that when you finish this class, you go and sit down, you sit your child down and say, you know what? Now I have learned tech conversations. You need to sit down. Let me teach you what I've learned. That's not what this is about. Okay? That's not what this is about in any way. This is about, a continuous conversation. It will happen over time at different ages of your child, given different scenarios. Parents must learn to maximize what I call the teachable moments. If you have read any of my books, you would have understood when I say there is a teachable moment. All right? There is a teachable moment. And you must understand that and deal with this. Teachable moments are moments that you actually use, to engage your children. How do you now begin to engage your children for tech conversation? I'm going to share ways that you can engage your children on tech conversations. Number one, you need to watch things together. A few days ago, 2 days ago or so, when I shared about being able to actually sit down and watch things together, a parent reached out to me and said to me, I really can't watch things with my children. Yes, they watch all of that. Can somebody just watch for me and recommend? I had a good laugh. Yesterday, we were in a book review. In a book review with the parents of the Inner Circle Level 2, we're currently reviewing a book called How to Build Your Child's Temperament. And, when I was talking to them, I said to them, intentional parenting is about time. You do not have time, then you're not ready for this waka. That's the truth. If for those of us who are not Nigerians, right, waka is, you're not ready for the work, right? I know that there are many non-Nigerians. There is a Nigerian palace, right? That means you're not ready for it. Intentional parenting skills time. If your children cannot, all right, you cannot determine what should be watched, what shouldn't be watched, and all of that, then shut it down. Shut it down. There is no other conversation on this. It is important that you understand that intentional parenting is about time. So you need to watch things together with your children. That's how you can start having this conversation. You can't have it in a vacuum. Screen time can be an opportunity for family bonding. And part of what we do in the Inner Circle is to create connection tools. There are days that actually have connection tools that is watch movies together. We don't just tell you to just go and sit down and laugh and watch movies. No. We are telling you to use those movies to actually build conversations. And that's what parents have learned. While you're talking, those communications happen, and then you begin to share those clear values. How you can also model behavior change, using valuable, teachable moments during those TV times. A goal can even be something like the type of shows one decides to watch, all right? And ask them questions during when they are watching and afterwards. Let them share their thoughts on certain scenes, the characters, and the lessons learned. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about mentor. People don't even know where the word, mentor came from. It actually came from a series where someone was actually named Mentor, all right, in that TV. It got me to research again. When we want, when we watch a lot of the things, right? A lot of the things that we're watching, we don't think it through. I need you to, when you're watching with your children, think about the characters, think about the scenes, think about the lessons you're learning. Another thing that you need to do is you can ask them questions. I've said that afterwards. Another thing you can do is that you need to listen to their opinions and share your informed or valuable based perspective at all times. If you're worried that your children are getting the wrong message from media, the best way to actually counteract it is for you to have screen time with your children. Screen time with your children. So if you have screen time with your children, you can begin to actually have these conversations with them. And they can actually learn valuable lessons. Don't tell me you don't have time to watch TV. If you don't have time, don't bother. All right? Number 4, do not make screens a reward in your home. I'm going to say this again and again because I know that is a big deal and is a problem. Don't make screen a reward in your home. How do I mean? Technology is appealing to children, young, old, everybody. So when you make screen time a reward, then you say, oh, if you don't do this, you will not watch TV. Or you tell them, when you finish doing this, you go and watch TV. You make TV a god, in quotes. You make screen time. If you don't finish your work, I will not give you a tablet. You're making it a reward. You're making it even more desirable than increasing the chances that a child would actually overvalue it. You need to begin to look at, your disciplinary strategies and actually learn what should help on your journey. You need to think it through. Your disciplinary strategy will determine a lot on this journey. All right? When you make screen time a reward, your children look at screen time and then, they look at screen time like it's all over. It's screen time. Oh, let me just go and finish my this thing before I watch TV. It's not a reward. Do not make it one. All right? You are going to increase the chances that your children would actually begin to overvalue screen time and all of that. When you treat screen time like, something that you're going to do, like a tool for your children to learn, like a tool where you people are going to have conversations, like a tool where people are going to learn and things to learn. And, whenever people say, all we watch, my children just watch cartoons, I'm a little bit, bewildered. Like, really? There are a lot of things to watch on TV that can help your children and can help you build conversations. What happened to history? What happened to discovery? What happened to programs that foster entrepreneurship and all of that? What you watch will determine how the conversations will go and the things that you actually will give your children in return. Believe it or not, children actually children look up to their parents, and it is very, very important. The last one is that you must encourage other activities. I don't know where we got this idea that screen time is, everything. Your children can't do nothing. All you do is, we now have a technology-driven society where children, all they do is just watch TV. They don't have friends. They don't connect. Nothing. They can't learn nothing. I shared yesterday that the skills that your children need to grow are not on the screen. It's not on the screen. Teach them other activities. Invest money and buy books. You know, one of the reasons why we have a problem paying for courses, buying books, is our value system. You know, somebody would, you tell someone and say, oh, come and attend parenting courses. The person will say, that coach, I beg you. Every time, parenting courses. But this same you will buy designer's bag every month, sew clothes. Yet your children do not have one book. And when you are even talking, you say, no, they will tear it. That's why I'm not buying it. Is your bag not tearing? That designer bag you're carrying, is it going to forever be the same? Are there not times where you begin to change it? Our value system is wrong in itself. That's one of our biggest problems. So we are all for the glitterati. We're all for the glitterati. You do not have budget for parenting. You do not have budget for books. You do not have budget for nothing. All you want to do is to feed the body. The body is just one part of the whole human being. You have the body, the mind, and you have the soul. If you do not feed the mind, you do not feed the soul, your child will perish. There's no two ways about it. There's no two ways about it. The children will perish. Create a budget for books in your home. That's your DSTV. You are flying. You're putting food bouquet. All right. You put food bouquet. You want to scroll from one end to another. Yet you do not have one kobo going to books. Not one kobo. Not a penny. Crazy. And then, you know, people give all sorts of excuses. You say things like, what are they talking about? All these books that we buy. Somebody reached out to me and said, I've been buying books, coach, I've been buying, they've been tearing it. They are going to tear it. Then that's how you begin to teach them the value of those books. Someone asked me a very funny question. I saw it after I got off the session yesterday. She said, can you please give us where you are getting the curriculum to teach us from? I had a good laugh when I saw it. I'm sure you will be ready to also attend all the courses and be ready to also read hundreds of books on one subject. For you to get to a place of knowledge, then you need to actually put in work. Put in work. If I tell you the budget that exists on books in my home, you're probably going to say I'm crazy. The budget for books in my home is more than the budget for clothes. Until you do that, you go nowhere. Unfortunately, I was saying something yesterday about the season where we are in Africa. Unfortunately, what we are seeing, currently is that we're seeing parents who are busy watching seasons because you do not understand the seasons you are in. That's why you're relaxed watching seasons. You do not understand the seasons you are in. That's why you're watching seasons. As a parent in today, you're watching seasons. You're putting up a food bouquet. The things you need to survive will never be televised on television. Never. For you to grow beyond here. It's never going to be televised on television. Put a system in whatever it is that you are doing today. Put a system. Stop telling me, other activities I cannot buy. You can't create a system that helps you buy, sporting equipment in your home. Sporting equipment in your home. You're flipping through Telemundo and your children are watching all from the corner. You're rushing through, all of that without thinking through what it is that you're giving to your children. It's important that we begin to actually look beyond all of these things that is happening, in ourselves, and begin to look beyond all of this. Recreate your value system. Recreate your value system. And until you do that, no matter what we say here, it's not going to make sense to you. If I say go and pay for this course, you need to pay for this course, all you're going to do, you're going to give excuses. You're going to tell me, all these courses, I've spent money. This book, Oh, I spent money. But yet you will pay bouquet day in, day out, watching seasons without thinking of the seasons where you are in. Your value system needs a shift. A shift. You should be more concerned about what is happening to your children than all of these things that let me just continue. All right. You need to teach your children how to do crafts. You need to teach your children how to play sports. Do you know that a simple knitting teaches your child emotional control? A simple knitting. A lot of the times, it's because we lack knowledge. It's because we lack knowledge. That's why we do some of the things that we do. We don't even know. It's little things. Little things. Thank you, Jemima. I like the way you put it. My value system needs a shift. If you're listening to me and it is you I'm talking about, you need to actually push back again and actually think through your process. It's important. All right? So you need to look at a vital, a balanced life. A balanced life. My children started learning how to knit some years ago. And recently they brought back, knitting stuff, and they've been knitting it, taking their time. I've seen my son calmly knitting through and how he's been able to build his patience level. We're raising men, we're raising boys who are going to be stupid men tomorrow, who know nothing, because we're busy carrying designers back. We're busy wearing designer clothes and following all the celebrities and looking at what it is that they are wearing, and forgetting that we have a calling to parent someone. You need to encourage your children's interests. Begin to model these things yourself. It's easy for us to come and just, say all sorts of things and all of that. Yesterday when we were in that book review, Engineer Smart, I think Engineer Smart is also here, was saying, the book was emphasizing on modeling. And he said, when coach says this thing, it's as if coach just wants to beat us. Now I understand it when I'm opening my mind to a lot of other resources. And he said, this modeling thing, our children are watching. Our children are watching every day. Every day. They are watching. Interestingly, my foster daughter is here in this class, and my husband is here. And when I share with you that there are a lot of things that needs a change, I'm not sharing it from the place of perfection. I'm sharing it from the place of someone who has also looked at her life and grown. It is important that you begin to encourage what the interests your children have will be. If your children are busy, trust me, if your children are busy, there are a lot of things that they will not be, have vice in. There will be a lot. Our first daughter went to NYSC and she didn't even have time to do the things that, were being done because she was busy chasing purpose. Where she was busy chasing purpose because she has seen her parents chase it, model it. You want your children to use technology rightly, model it. Model it. You need to model it like you are living it. Don't just pretend about it. And if I preach what I'm preaching to you, any of my children or family members or friends hear me, they know that what I'm preaching is what I'm doing. Model it. And then you need to now present your children activities that is rewarding. My home, right? My home at its currently is like a movie library. I'm passionate about investing in books. It's like a movie library. It's going to change. Your children are going to see the world through books, and it will recreate them. It will recreate them. Go back to there and go and find that bookshop and go and start packing books. Remove the clothes budget. Remove it. Reduce it. Reduce it. You need to reduce it. When you reduce it, you replace it with book, replace it with crafts. Let them tear it, let them paint it. Remove the screens. Remove the screens. Finally, you need to present these activities equally as rewarding as screen time. You need to present it as rewarding as screen time, not as alternatives. Don't present these things as alternatives. So when there's no light, that's what we do. When there's no light, you tell them, go and read your book. When they do something, you tell them, go and go inside. You are grounded inside your room, go and read. Because you are putting what you're doing is that you're giving your children the idea that reading is a problem. When they do something, they need to be punished with it. They need to punish with it. Oh yes, reduce that cloth body. A cloth can only cover your body. Books cover your destiny. That's what they do. The right books will cover your destiny, not just your body. So the cloth you're wearing, that cloth is only covering the body. So when you put up that system where you associate, thank you, Tobe, you associate pain with reading. Reading is supposed to be fun. Art is supposed to be fun. My children and I sit down and create fun painting. Painting. I don't like painting. I had to go and learn it. I use it to create time. Reading stories. Yesterday I was up reading stories, all sorts, having conversations on it. You need to begin to present these activities as rewarding. They are also rewarding. Let books be as rewarding. Let books be as rewarding. It is the craft. Let it be as rewarding. Don't make screen like an alpha and omega. Some people, their children even cry because of screen. It's because you are also crying because of screen. That's why. If you don't watch your series in your Telemundo, you will die. So you are running. So you wonder why your child is crying when they don't watch an episode on Disney Junior. You wonder why? It's because you are actually modeling that same thing. You throw tantrum when there is no light and they're supposed to be putting in your TV series. You throw a tantrum. You throw a tantrum. Then you are wondering why your child is throwing a tantrum. You complain. Oh, why did they bring like, oh, I'm supposed to do. That's it. That's it. The child is following you. Tech conversations start with you. It's great that you're thinking about it, talking about it to your children, screen time and all of that, is the right step in the right direction. I was sitting in a hotel over the weekend, all right? And while I was in that hotel, I had, my daughter called me and it was on a video call and she said, where's the TV? It's not on. She now said, I know that you won't even put on the TV until you leave that place. Model it. Model it. I don't need to tell my child that TV is not an alpha and omega. She can see it. She can see that I can do without it. There are times where in a month, we usually have the team of the month in the inner circle. One of those months, our team was content, connection, and communication. All right. And one of the things that, that we did in that month was to shut down the screen. There was no screen the whole of that month. The children had fun. We had fun. The whole of that month, there was no screen. We didn't even pay for the DSTV subscription. So everybody had fun and, nothing happened. Nobody threw a tantrum. Nobody was going to die. So it's okay that you're talking about it. It's actually for you to try to model it better. The ambiguity of the goals is in you not being able to model it. Ask yourself these questions sincerely. I want you to ask yourself these questions. All right? Number one, how do I model screen time in my home? Me. A lot of us are on social media from morning till night. You're scrolling. Your children are talking to you. You're saying, see Adobe. Oh, wow. Adobe bought a new car. Oh, wow. I even saw this person's this thing posted on Facebook. They are talking to you. I want to teach about screen time. How do I model screen time in my home? What am I doing myself? That's number one. Number two, what messages do my action with my devices signal to my child? What messages do my actions with my devices signal to my child? What are the messages? What are you saying? It's okay for you to say, yes, I've been telling them, oh, this one, that one. I've been saying it. Sorry, I used Adobe. I'm so sorry. If your name is Adobe, please forgive me. It's just a fictitious name, all right? So the messages you're setting, I see a lot of people say, oh, why children, Naira Marley, oh, this one, that one. Yet we are the followers of the Naira Marley on social media. Who are the followers? It's you all now. They are the ones. And we say, oh, all these people, these celebrities that are always naked, don't stress naked. But we are the ones raving over the celebrities. You think raving over all the naked pictures, all the, oh, wow. You say, oh, this person just had a baby. See this baby picture. Your children can see. Your children can see. What messages do my actions to my devices signal to my child? Then the moment I pick up my phone, my children know that I'm working. I don't flick through social media. My children know that, oh, okay, mommy is working. You need to create a system that teaches your children while you are modeling it. Number three, have your children seen you try to change the habit, screen time and others? A lot of them have a very terrible screen time habit. Very terrible one. Very terrible one. Your children are talking. I've said that before, and then, you're flipping through. You're flipping through. But have you even said, I want to begin to do something? At the time, because I work online, it's still screen. I had to shut down at a certain time every day. So once I get home, my children are awake. From 8 to 5, I just drop my phone until they sleep. When they sleep at 8:30, 9 or 9:30, and then I pick up my phone again if I will, because if I want to. So, are you planning? Are you changing this habit? Are you changing this habit? All right. Do I use smart approach to behavior change? Or are you just saying, I just want to change? I just want to change. You need to be sincere to yourself. You need to be absolutely sincere to yourself on this journey. The truth of the matter is that after I say this thing, I'm not going to be in your house. You are the one that's going to sit back, all right? You're the one that's going to sit back and actually review what you are currently doing on your own. On your own. Listening to the child while you're pressing your phone is not listening. That's not connection in any way. That's not connection in any way. So it's important that you look at what is the smart approach that you're using. Is there anything around my screen time habit that I should consider to change? Sometime on my journey, I used to just say, but I'm working, it's work. And I realized that no, it was a habit I needed to change. And I changed it. That I'm working wasn't an excuse. So I put a timeline to my screen time. What should and what shouldn't be. This also goes to what do you do on social media? That's the next question. What do I do on social media? A lot of us come on social media and all we are coming to come and look at is celebrity trend. Someone ran to me, one of the parents I have worked with, to say to me, Ma, I have an addiction and I have a problem. We started to work, and by the time we worked, we had 6 months. We had to trim out all the WhatsApp groups she belonged, trim out all the, and all the things that it's happening and all of that. And By the time we were done, it was an amazing journey for her. Go back to what do you do on social media? Following trends. The kind of people I even follow is teaching my child. He's teaching my child what social media should be for. By the time I introduce you to social media, you understand what you're there for. So we need to understand, all right? We need to understand that this thing starts from us. What you have modeled, what they can see, remember that I said that sex conversation is first non-verbal. First non-verbal. And yesterday, we already established that pornography is not only the videos that you click, the pornography is the adverts, that Telemundo advert, all right? And is what it is that where they are seeing. All those things can actually become porn to your children. Hey, Funaya, I see you. All right. It is important. Very important. A goal can be something like changing the type of shows that you decide to watch. You can reframe the kind of shows that you will rewatch, that you're watching. All right. You can reframe it. You can reframe it. So, what shows are you watching? What are you doing? Start with that. Start with looking at the relevancies of the things that you are doing right now. You can also create a goal like, after checking my email, my goal is to turn off my Wi-Fi. Whenever I come back to work, my goal is to, my goal is to take out everything, right? My goal is to take out everything and then listen to my children. I am going to try to resist checking my phone when we're sitting for dinner. In my home, we do dinner every evening together. No phones. You can create that as a rule. Make rules that can help you. Make rules that can help you. It is important. All right. I like that. I'll spend more time listening to my children. Thank you so much, Michael, for saying that. All right. You can put up, I plan to no longer have my phone in the room at night. When people come to our house and you begin to press phone, we remind you that this is not a phone pressing visit, that you need to actually sit down and have conversations. We have removed the life that we should live and replaced it with tech. And unfortunately for us, when we now begin to have the sex conversations, the tech come in and make a mess, because your children would have access, and all of these are going to begin to actually affect the conversations that you're having. How do you model effective behavior change? You can use SMART goals, what we call the SMART goals. Set reasonable, actionable goals. Start small. Monitor your progress. Arrange for success. Let people hold you accountable. All right? Let people hold you accountable. I remember when we started raving about social media, using phone and all of that in the inner circle, we created a system where parents drop their phone. It's called the drop the phone system. You come in, you drop your phone, and you drop your phone and have conversations all through. And then it's after you have conversations, then you can now, the children go to bed and all of that. Create time. That time that you're using to chat with your secondary school WhatsApp group. You're a parent. You're a parent. You need to understand that. There is time for everything. There is time for everything. I'm not saying do not associate with people. I'm not saying do not chat online. I'm not saying do not. I'm saying put boundaries. Put boundaries. Don't chat with people from morning until and until everything just goes down. What about tech must I discuss? What about tech must I discuss? Right? The tech, what is my child sharing online? If your child is already online, what are they sharing? These are the things that you need to get. The truth is that the online content, posting something online can actually be compared to getting a tattoo. It can be compared to getting a tattoo. Once you press send, it's out there for the world to see. Whether you delete it or you don't delete it, it's there. So it's like a tattoo. So the online content we post can be covered up or removed, but hey, it can be it's not the same. Someone can actually, and put it and catch it. That's why we need to constantly remind our children to think before they post. Even for you, I think this is even for you first, before the children. Think before you post. Everything is not a social media posts, whatever. Don't run crazy on social media, right? Think before you post, right? Number 2, teach them about privacy. Privacy. Does your child understand privacy? There's a recent study that revealed that 81% of parents of teenagers and preteens give too much information to online advertisers. So we need to set example for our children. All of that thing that you're putting, all right? All of that thing that you're putting online and all of that. There is something called the digital footprint. Yes, Dr. There is something called the digital footprint. You need to actually, look at what will be found of you eventually. Everything you post is saved somewhere. Everything you post is saved somewhere. All right? It sounds simple, but you need to look at it's something that we call, there's something currently called digital kidnapping. Digital kidnapping. All right? Digital kidnapping is now a system where children are being kidnapped and the faces used on porn. That's also part of the non-touching forms of sexual abuse. And they are being put on pornography sites and all of that. I'm going to run because we're running out of time. All right. Then reputation. Teach your children about reputation. Teach them how to differentiate between public and private, all right? And things that they need to do. What is private? What is public? Every picture is not for public consumption. That's the truth. Everything you do in your life is not for public consumption. You should put restraint. And you need to put restraint on yourself before you can put a leash on your children, all right? So do your child understand that they are painting a picture about themselves with every interaction they have online? The pictures, whatever it is, they are painting a picture about yourself. They are painting a picture about themselves when they actually post things online, all right? It is important. There have been many times, our foster daughter is here, that she will want to share something. She will share it with me and say, is this social media worthy? All right, that's what we call it. I'll say, no, pull it down. That cannot go out, anywhere. And over the time, we were able to actually associate what should be out there and what shouldn't be out there. Teach your children, they do not know. Teach your children, they do not know. All right, and that is actually very important. Now, while technology absolutely has its risk, we need to empower our children to overcome and understand the downsides and also understand what it can do. All right, parents and children can work together to build important skills. That way, the internet, we give them tools to succeed, and we can all sleep peacefully. We give them tools to succeed. Like I said earlier, let us build tech-savvy children, not social media savvy children. They're not the same. They're not the same. Social media savvy children is what we have today. Children who are raving over Instagram, children who are, putting a lot of things and all of that put together, and then, a lot of things just happening. So we need to actually begin to look at that. All right. Olachi, you are. Don't worry. We're working on that. My team is going to do this in no time. Yes, we're actually getting this Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro in a book. Eventually, we'll tell you when that works out. Facts about LGBTQ. Let's go straight to LGBTQ. When you look at the things that I'm teaching you, let me say this again. For people who are saying, somebody asked, where are you getting the curriculum from? When you look at the things that I'm teaching you, you're not going to find it online. When you look for LGBTQ, for instance, all right? LGBTQ, for instance, everything they tell you online is that they're going to tell you that your children should, LGBTQ is nothing, it's not a problem, and all of that, because that's the information that is out there. So if you want to recreate this information, then you need to find it somewhere else, not on the internet. So if you allow your children to, only look at these things on the internet, so what it means is that the internet is what going to teach your child. instead of you being the one teaching your child. And remember that the internet serves us with buffet. Buffet. Your child will choose whatever it is that they deem fit. LGBTQ is an acronym for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning. Queer or questioning, anyone that it is that they actually want to call it. Then you also have LGBTQIAA. It's a long, abbreviation. We put that in your worksheet today so that you'll be able to actually get it. And do you know that currently that LGBTQ people have actually been able to push in consent in places like the UK, Sweden, to reduce the age of consent in many of the nations. For parents in the inner circle, we're currently reading Raising Boys, and we're going to read that and see the statistics. It's mind-blowing, okay? And I showed the statistics somewhere, and I was saying that even in Nigeria, and I'm sure a lot of us think that, oh, these things are just for people who live abroad. I tell you for free, there are social media communities, Nigerian owned, where it is turned with your teenagers confused. They are teaching them why they should be gay and come out and say that they are gay. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So why we are all here thinking, oh, it's not about us. It's not happening and all of that. There are statistics. The other day we had a conversation in the inner circle, and Ebuka is here. All right. Ebuka was sharing on that statistics in the inner circle in level 1, and where he was, talking about Ebuka worked with boys. And he said, do you know the number of boys that are being, put through, because these children are confused sexually. They are confused about who they are. Nobody is talking to them. You are not talking. Nobody is talking. The internet is teaching them, and they are following. Nobody is saying anything to them. So we will passionately share some things with you. It's because there are conversations I can't have here. But I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. It's eating so deep into our society that our children get confused and confused the more. In the book, Walking Your Child Through Puberty, I shared on how you can actually start up the conversations, different questions. And I know that many of us got a copy of Walking Your Child Through Puberty, and please go through the workbook, and the workbook will actually show you all about this conversation, because time won't permit me to actually do all of that. But let me share a bit of this. Sexual orientation. Homosexuality is not normal and should not be taught to be normal. A lot of us feel otherwise. I know a lot of people who teach that, oh, that's how people are born, what happens to them, and all of that. According to your value, teach your child. I've said that from day one. According to your value, teach your child. Someone shared something that got me thinking. A friend who lives in the US, who was also in this class, and she's been in this class. And yesterday, she said, I called a friend of mine, and I asked her, I'm in this class, and I've been learning so much. I think you should come and pay the 5K and get the replays, because I know that it's worth it. But have you started teaching your children anything about sex education? She said, no, we don't need to teach anything like that in Nigeria. It's you people that live abroad. He said, have you taught them anything about gay LGBT? She said, no, we don't have all of that here. We live in denial. We live in denial in this part of the world. But again and again, I would say, teach your children according to your value system. If your value system says that it's okay for people to be born gay, then it's fine. Teach your children from that value. It's a choice. I said from day one that I'm not about to force you on sexual perceptions. I'm here to teach you laid down principles. And it is your choice. It is your job to check whatever it is, all right? Whatever it is that you want to, however it is that you want to go about it, all right? So that is one of the things that you would need to understand. But first, we need to know about LGBTQ before we start teaching whichever way. We need to know about LGBTQ. It's been established that there's nothing like a gay gene. The largest study till today on genetic basis on sexuality has actually revealed that 5 spots on the human genome that is linked to sex behavior, but none of the markers are reliable enough to predict anyone's sexuality. It can't. All right. So we need to actually, there's no link. There's no gay gene. There's no gay gene at all. All right. Throughout Europe, being gay and being a lesbian is legal. In the East, in the West, there's a divide. It was Ellen DeGeneres that actually came out first to share about all of this. Okay. So sorry, I would need to run to get my charger. I just realized that I didn't plug it in. Sorry. Right. So sorry about that. Okay. So sorry about that. All right. So sorry. Okay. I'm back here. I needed to unplug my phone. All right. So I was talking about Ellen DeGeneres being the first person who came out to say, oh, I'm gay and all of that. And then we now had all the legalization and all of that. I need you to study about the LGBTQ because the questions that your children are going to be asking you about LGBTQ will confuse even you. So you need to get it right. You need to get it right. Do you know that on Facebook, as your children are getting get on Facebook, there are 58 gender options for users to choose from. There are 58 gender options. So gender has moved from male and female, as we're told. It's no longer about male or being female. There's not a lot of things. Being fluid, being and too many things. Overwhelming. Knowledge is a prerequisite for parenting a child in the 21st century. How do I begin to talk to my children about LGBTQ? The reality is, if you don't, someone else will. If you don't, someone else will. All right? And already is. And you may not like what they say to your child. Interestingly. So homosexuality has become increasingly visible in our culture. It has moved from acceptance and normalization to celebration and promotion. I say it again. It's very visible that it has moved from acceptance and normalization and to celebration and promotion. We were trying to accept it, normalize it. Now we're celebrating it and we are promoting it. We are promoting it. It's happening every area of the life, from education to entertainment, from media to marketplace, from cities to countries to courts to churches. It is everywhere. So while you are actually sitting in your house and telling yourself, oh, I don't know anything, I watched a video. And for those of us who are Christian parents, who just tell ourselves that, my children are in church, they cannot learn that kind of thing. I saw a video where, where these two gay people, they were being interviewed and they were asked where they met. They said that they met in church. One was a choir master, right? One was in technical unit or something. That's how they met. And they became lovers in church. Church, that your child is in church. The church folks, like my pastor will even call them, are even as confused. People in the church are also as confused. They are also as confused. If you're not teaching your child, the church will not teach your child. The church is not going to teach your child. Can we cut all of that crap? Take responsibility and teach your child from your values. From your values. So it is everywhere. Thank you for that, Labake, talking about what happened in our community. It's everywhere. Yes, they defend it. They even tell you how God, it's being defended. Now, it's not even being defended and normalized. It's being celebrated and promoted. Again, parents don't even know what is happening. You're still watching seasons. You can't see the season we are in. That's why you're watching seasons. It's crazy. Crazy. It is important. You need to sit back and take responsibility of teaching your child. The church is not going to teach your child. Never. It is you. Discipleship is first the responsibility of the parent, even before any other institution. So if we're going to disciple your children, it is about you first. What are you going to be teaching? Think about the tremendous change that we've seen in this regard. In 1997, that was a year Ellen DeGeneres came out and featured on the cover of Time magazines, and we celebrate people like Ellen DeGeneres. We need to understand our counter, our sexual perception, like I said, and teach from there. Don't confuse your children. You rave over and say, oh, Ellen DeGeneres and all of that, and then your children are sitting and tomorrow they ask you, but LGBTQs, there's something wrong with it. They've seen you watch people like that, and it's okay. It's okay. I like the way that I say it. Lizzie, thank you for reminding me. You are the school that your children are reading. Your life is the curriculum. You are the school that your children are reading, are attending. Your life is the curriculum. You are the school that your children are attending. Your life is the curriculum. Your life is the curriculum. So whatever it is that you're doing, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. When you celebrate those celebrities, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to watch it. Now, by 2004, that was the first same-sex marriage that was ordered in Supreme Court in Massachusetts. That was the first state to redefine marriage. Now, marriage has been redefined in many, parts of the world. There's a premier program called Glean in 2009 that had a storyline focusing on the male character where that was identified as gay. Oh yeah, all right. I was identified as gay. And in 2012, Barack Obama finally evolved on the issue of marriage, fully supporting the redefinition to include 2 men, 2 women. And today, Christians who believe God designed for marriage and sexuality are labeled to be haters, to be homophobes, to be religious bigots. Some want to keep the view out of the public. Unfortunately, not people like us. Christian parents need to they now have to face, questions like, how do I talk to my children about homosexuality? Start early. Start early. You need to start early to begin to actually look at the distance. Look at the distance in what it is that you're teaching. Start early. Define who a boy is, define who a girl is. You see this wokeness, for parents who are not Nigerian, sorry. Wokeness is the idea of we have, who will help me explain it? Hey, God. I have Tanzanians, Cameroonians, Ghanaians, and I'm sure that these Nigerian pilots will be a problem. Start early to teach your children. All right? Start early to teach your children. Okay? I'm going to answer all your questions as we are going. All right? And Bukola, copy your question, paste it again when we are asking questions. Okay? Start early is very, very important. Another thing that you need to note is that you need to affirm your child in the agenda. I heard Chinyere Obinna is here. I heard Chinyere Obinna share a story in her community. Chinyere Obinna is the sex-wise parent, where it was said that a girl, started behaving like a boy because she felt that being a boy was better. Being a boy was better. So he started behaving like a boy. That's how he went from being a boy to wanting to become a boy to doing, section operations to remove, to changing her gender and all of that. And then with series of regrets. And then she started telling the story and all of that. Affirm your child in their gender. Very important. Let your child understand that being a boy is a good thing. Let your child understand that being a girl is a good thing. Let a child understand that being a girl is a good thing, being a boy is affirm them in their gender. All right. If your child is a boy, please let him be a boy. And you need to start from day one. You see all those, little things that we do. Oh, she does like a woman. Oh, I like the way that, my child does. And all of those things, we need to actually be sensitive to the things that we are saying. Now, in our days, these things were not as difficult, trust me. But unfortunately for us, we are in a season where raising children is a ministry. That's where we are. So whenever you say, but our parents did not do all of this, your parents did not do all of this, trust me, and I'll tell you for free, it is not the same. It is not the same because things have changed. You need to affirm them in their gender. Oh, beautiful girl. Oh, boy. Let them know that it's a pride to be whoever it is. Another thing that you need to also recognize is that do not think, I've already said yesterday, that innocence is not an information, that innocence is an attitude. So you need to actually teach your children before the world teaches them. Teach them exactly what they need to know about this LGBTQ. My children started learning about LGBTQ from primary 6, from grade 1. That's 6 years old. That's when it was taught. So, and then I work with the school, and we even created a system that helps to teach the children, a curriculum that helps to teach the children what they need to know, per time. So they understand it. Nobody's going to confuse them. Do not let your children be confused. Affirm them. Do not let them be confused. Another thing that you need to note is that you need to build your child's self-worth. One of the reasons why your child is thinking, should I be a boy, should I be a girl, is lack of, proper self-identity. These days, you're told actually that you should allow your child, that there's now something called birth sex, the sex you were given when you were giving birth. You are no longer identified by your physical, capacity, as in physical endowment or whatever. We're now being told that it's wrong to tell anybody what sex they are when they give birth to them. In fact, they tell you that what you should do is that you need to let your children choose when they grow up. They make a choice of what sex they are. Self-identity. Yes, there is birth sex. They say this is the sex that was given to you at birth. When you grow up, you decide. Children are being check on the internet what I'm telling you. Go and click on how parents can talk to their children about LGBTQ and see if you will see any other message that does not tell you that it's okay. Go and try it. Go and try it. What I'm teaching you is not on the internet. I'm not getting you and putting you. I'm teaching you what it is I know on this process, and I've actually been given to teach. You need to build their self-worth. A child who is confused about their sex is a child who has a damaged self-worth. The child do not know who they are. That's why. The child don't know who they are. They don't know where they belong. They don't know where they should go. They don't know where they should not go. All right? It is important that we begin from the beginning. And then you also need to begin to build the biblical worldview of gender and sexuality. If you are a Christian, if you are whatever religion that you believe in, look at your religion worldview of what that is. All right? Of what that is. Oh yes, Ben, very true. There is LGBTQ everywhere, which is why we've been screaming media. And that takes me to the last point, as if you know it. Check what your children watch. Before your child even starts as they are born, check what they are watching. Remember that the media frames our mind. The media frames our mind. So the media is being used to frame the mind of your children that LGBTQ is okay. So you need to bring something more superior. Something more superior. You know, I keep saying that the aim is not fear. The aim is caution. The aim of these conversations is caution. It's not fear. It's not fear. So if you're afraid, sorry, we're sharing this for you to be cautious. But let me also say this. Fear is only a proof that there's no mastery. Fear is only a proof that there's no mastery. So if you're afraid, it means you lack knowledge. That's what it means. It's as simple as that. If you're afraid, it means you lack knowledge. It's not a time for you to begin to actually be afraid. It's a time for you to acquire as much knowledge as possible. And much knowledge as possible. You need to understand that. Much knowledge as possible. So we're not here to share or distribute fear. We are here to say, get knowledge. The media frames. The media frames the mind of your child. Watch what your children are watching. If you've watched me from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and you still do not have a copy, and you've not created your media plan in your home, then there's no need. You haven't been here, because the media is one of the basics. You've seen how much I've talked about tech. You've seen how much I've talked about the media. The media is one of the baselines that, you know, society, all right, that society is being used to reframe. And someone is surprised that there's LGBT in cartoon. Of course. Even in Nigerian movies, there are LGBTQ now being infused in Nigerian movies. We're busy watching seasons now. That's why. You need to look for superior knowledge. Get it? That's the only way to actually, you know, undo this. Superior knowledge. Yes, fear is a proof that there is no mastery. If there is mastery, you will not be afraid. All right. So it's important, all right? Yes, in this time, it's been framed. In fact, it's been said that in the entertainment industry today, even in Nigeria, then when you bring movies, Chinyere Obasi is here. She's in the entertainment industry. They make movies, all right? She's in the inner circle. They make movies. When you bring movies, they ask you to actually infuse. They ask you to infuse the LGBTQ, you know, content in it. If you want to submit your movie to Netflix, they want you to actually make it, what do they call it? Content. There's a word that they use. There's a word that they use. You want to make it content, you know, valued and all of that. Oh yes, it's something that the content is there all over. So you create movies, they tell you no, that is not balanced. I worked for an NGO for 10 years, all right, and more. And I can tell you for free that in Nigeria, the content, that's what it is. It is what it is. All right? And there are books, even the books that your children are reading, read them. Understand, do book reviews before you throw and give your child to be reading. There's a lot of content on gay in the content that your children are reading today. We need to put in work. When I tell you that this work is not a walk in the park, trust me, I know what I'm saying. When we're going to be reading Walking Your Child Through Puberty, and I hope we've all got this book, because most of what I also shared, the conversation starters, are also in the other part of the book. When we're going to be reading this in the inner circle later on, I think in 3 months, we're going to be reviewing exactly what it is, you know, deeper, on all of this. All right. Content worthy. Thank you, Clara. That's what it's called. Content worthy. Content worthy. They will tell you that it's not content worthy. So you need to go and review it and infuse the LGBTQ system in it. Right. So now we are ready to get your questions. Yes, the media frames the mind of your child. The media frames even your own mind. That's why you must be careful what you consume. The media frames your own mind. You need to be careful what you consume. Who is still here? Somebody said yesterday, I couldn't breathe for the fire. I hope you can still breathe. Can you still breathe? Who is still here? All right. Yes, Angela, we now have many cross-dressers and we're celebrating them. What's his name? What's the name of the one in Nigeria that is the biggest cross-dresser? All right, somebody remind me. If it says come to a class now, pay 20K, Bobrisky, all of us are going to jump in. Because you want to go and hear Bobrisky. Bobrisky, I want to go and hear Bob. All of us are going to be firing. Bobrisky. Yes, that's his name, Bobrisky. If Bobrisky comes out and says one thing, he's trending. Yet, we want to check. We need to really check. We need to really check what it is that we are doing. We need to really check what it is that we're doing. All right, so ask your questions. Put it down here. All right. Who Bobrisky help? Many of the parents. Please, how do I coach my 6 to 5 years old to read? Ujunwa, one of the first things I will need you to do is to first of all understand their learning style. There's a course that we have in the academy called Understanding Your Child's Learning Style. You can send me a chat. I will send you the link. You can take the course at your pace, and you will understand how you will factor in, a lot of these things for your child. I hope that helps, because you need to understand your child learning style, and then you need to now understand their interest. That's how you can get them to read. I got my son to read starting from his interest, and now he can read anything. It was actually a whole lot for me to do. Thank you, Coach, for addressing my worries for screen time in my 2 years old. I now know how to handle the situation better. Precious, I am so glad that God got you, in here. Coach, please, what can you recommend for your 7-year-old? I can't recommend. You need to do the work of understanding their interest and understanding their learning style. So no, coach cannot do the work for you. You need to do the work. You need to do the work for yourself. All right. So go and sit down and understand how your child learns, understand their interests, and then I can give you vendor numbers, and then you can do researches with them. That's not part of my job, right? Somebody said, do you have any resource on how to communicate all of these on an autistic child? This is a bit down, but I would refer you to someone, Esther Amasa, that can help you, all right, and do this a lot more better. All right. Yes, the aim of this conversation is not fear, it is caution. Yes, it is caution. Fear sells, the idea. Fear is that you would not. Fear is that you do not have knowledge. You do not have mastery of a topic. That's why you're afraid of it. Once you have mastery, you will not be afraid. Coach, please recommend books. I can't, again, recommend books for you. You need to recommend books based on what your family believe in. I can't. I might tell you that all the books that my children are reading are books on a particular subject because of the particular value system that we have. Go first and create your family value system. Take it from there. Go and understand your child's learning style. Understand their interests, and then we can now come from there. That's what is actually going to help you. 2 of my kids already have mobile phone for more than 2 years. Though they use it only when they're on vacation. Is it too late to talk to them? They are 18. No, Jim, it's not too late to talk to them. Please get the media plan. Nobody should be in this session without creating a media plan afterwards. Get a copy of the family media guide. It will help you build your media plan. All right, so that you know exactly what you need to do with your child. All right, again and again. You need to understand what you need to do with them, and then start having the conversation. Well, it's late, but the best time to be right is now. The best time to be right is now. No matter how long that you have walked on a wrong road, you never get to your destination. I like the way that my pastor says it. He says that if you're going to go to Ilorin and you face the way that goes to Makurdi, you will never reach until you turn back and start heading towards Lokoja. So it is, it's taking so long, yes, but you can also, start again. The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time is now. All right. Thank you so much, Esther. All right. Thank you. And thank you. Kitchen Licking says, I feel very equipped. I'm glad that you do. I love this session. It's my first time here live. Thank you. Somebody said boarding school is where children join all sorts. Be careful. Oluwatoyin, that is not true. If you do not do your job, whether your child is in the boarding school or your child is at home, it will be the same thing. The job is you. Yesterday, while we're doing a book review in the inner circle, we did the book review, and what we're talking about was how the author was talking about how whatever it is that you don't build from 0 to 8, it is war. You are in war. You are at war. If other parents who have toddlers are slowing down, walking, you should be running. Because anything that you're building is 0 to 10. So any other thing that you're building after there is just, you're playing, really. So your craft and everything you build is from 0 to 10. So it has nothing to do with boarding or staying at home. In fact, statistics show that children get more molested in the home than anywhere else. Right? Please, what are the fun activities? What are the fun activities for 2-year-old, 4-year-old? There's a lot of fun activities that your 2-year-old can do: drawing, painting, doing ball games, and all of that. Go online and search it for it. They are everywhere. Please, what is the best age to start using phone for your child? I don't know why we're very interested in giving our children phone, but what I usually say about phone is, if I share my own personal conviction, it won't follow with yours. That's why I keep talking about my personal conviction and yours. It won't follow with yours because my personal conviction is very different. It might look, really crazy, right? All right. So let me put that. So, but what I say is that before you give your child any gadget at all, make sure that you have a media guide that is being followed and followed thoroughly, not just media guide. So get a media plan, create it, put it in place, make sure that it's practiced for a long time, and then you look at several factors in that media guide. You will see what to look out for before you actually give your child a phone. My 7-year-old daughter is only interested in fashion, nothing else. Do I feed it? Oh, why not? Why not? Why not? It's a good thing. All right. Coach parenting is not a walk in the park. Oh, it is not a walk in the park. How do I teach our children about people born differently, like a boy who is like a boy, people born with 2 genitals? Then that's when you now begin. That's why you need to get more information about malformation of genders, genital issues or biological malformations. You need to get information on that, and then you teach them on it and tell them why it is there. Go and study more about malformation of gender in biology and all of that. So that's people born differently. So you need to actually teach your children, right? I love, let me see it. I love how you say with confidence, you need to do the work. Parenting is an intentional hard work. Oh yes, you need to do the work. There's no other way. You advise to make other activities rewarding as screen time. Can you suggest the reward suitable for 4- and 6-year-old? Reward, make other activities reward, like book. Make book reading rewarding. Make painting rewarding. Make coloring rewarding. 4 years, 6 years, the children should be tearing a lot of papers. Do you know that coming back from home, a lot of the time from the office, my husband and I have paper full, right? Get them Lego piece, think critically. Them games, let them play. Teach your children 6-year-old to play chess. I learned how to Scrabble, and I don't think you're going to beat me at Scrabble. My friend tried actually play those games. All right. I need to understand my child learning style. Yes, you need to. All right. My girls this summer. Yes, Coach, please give us the book vendor number, please. Okay, yes, I'm going to do that. From your child, because people are just still coming. The 2-year-old can play with sand outside. Yes, in fact, playing with sand is a good way to actually help your child build motor skills and all of that. Make sure that your children play with sand. Very important. Don't deny them that. Please share your personal conviction. Sandra, my personal conviction on this matter. My conviction on this matter is a bit different, and it's going to cause a lot of controversy. So it's not a professional view. So let's leave it at that. Let me share with you what professional views are. If you want my personal conviction, you can reach out to me. That's a different thing. But on public poll, I would tell you that what you need to do is to look at your value system, parents there, right? So please, do you have all the plan in one book? You have the Walking Your Child Through Puberty, and you have it here. Then you have the guides. The guides are all different guides. We have 4 guides as at today. Kind of processes and all of that. Hi Chedoze, your life today. This is awesome. All right, this class is just too great. Thank you so much for following. Who else has a yes? Play with sand. Yes, Esther, please let your children play with sand. Let them play with sand. Very key. Plenty agree, because sometimes the partners' cooperation is also key. I agree with you. You also need to ensure. And if we were taught from the place of our value system, even marriage will become different. A lot of the problem, right? A lot of the problem is that we were not taught to make choices from our value system. A lot of us make choices outside of our value system because we do not even know that our value system, we don't even know what it was at the time. So we just got married, we just just anything goes and all of that. But I'm sure that if we begin to teach our children to do it better, they will be able to make better convinced with more intentional. Her personal, you get it. Don't say, I cannot. Why is she telling me this? I can't. I've shared a lot of it with the parents in the inner circle. How can we get children to be tech savvy? Look at how you can develop tech part of your children instead of just looking for how you buy them phone. My children are on tech. They understand tech, all right, but they don't own phones. All right, it's not the same. Success said, honestly, this challenge has been an eye-opener for me. Coach, I'm coming for all your books and even the inner circle. It will do you a lot of good. Trust me, you would have a great change to add. It's good to have your children books on puberty to read. It's good to give our children books on puberty. Is it good? I mean, that's what you want to ask. Yes, if there are good books. In fact, currently my children are reading. They're reading Maintain Your White. Maintain Your White was written by Etima Ome. Etima Ome is also on these. He's also on these sex educate your child like a pro challenge. I have parents who have done so much on sex education, purity. People like Chinyere Obinna, Etima Ome, yet they are learning every day. The learning doesn't stop. So don't come here and just say, "Oh, I've learned one thing." You can't stop learning. You can't stop learning. These are people who have written awesome books on this subject, and yet they are here and they are getting insights, every day as they are sharing. So you can get a Tima's book for your children. It's called Maintain Your White. Look for Etima Ome. You can look for her on social media. And if you want her, also can send her details to you. Get her book, Maintain Your White, for your children. If you believe in sexual purity, that's an awesome place to start from. Trust me. All right, I can tell you that for free. Building blocks, yes, for toddlers, building blocks and all of that. Thank you, Dr. Angela. Please, can a child of 5 and 7 play with sand? Because I deprived them when they were toddlers. Yes, let them play. So my children are still playing with sand. They're 11, they're still playing with sand. Play is children's work. My children are not going to stop playing with sand. If they want to play with sand as long as, the one, then they can. Yes, I thought, somebody said, yes, I thought this too late thing is like patient running and pouring water on the clay. Eventually, all the bad water will pour then becomes purified. Righty. Somebody's asking a question. When you come into the room and discover a wrong channel content is on by a 5-year-old, what consequences is relatable? Before you share consequences, make sure that you teach. I do not believe in consequences without you putting in the lay down rules and putting in, the things that you need to actually put in place. So it's okay for you to come and say, oh, I need consequences, I need to do. That's not where to start from. That's not where to start from. Start by teaching your child what should apply, what is tenable. Go and build a media plan first and discuss consequences. Go and get that guide. If you get the guide, all these questions on media will be sorted. Get the guide. The guide is, I left all the guides for 1,000 naira in this period. All right. When you get that guide, look at what it is that is in the content of that guide. The consequences there, you can craft out consequences for your children. And if you want to learn more about disciplining consequences, get the book, The Discipline That Works, and Connect to Correct. That will, help you. I am indebted to Coach for this knowledge. I came hungry and I'm beyond satisfied. Thank you. Isn't even enough. Thank you so much, Esther. I appreciate your kind words. This session was my bully. Who is taking screenshots for us? I hope somebody took screenshots. Yes. I hope somebody scooped into a Bukola DK. Can you please copy? I can't get back to your chat. Please help me. Copy your chat and paste it again in the comment section, and I would answer it. All right. Somebody said, I'm glad I discovered TIP when I did. I just began this journey in parenting. Thank you, Coach. You are awesome. In fact, many times I tell the parents who are toddler parents, it's you have a lot, right? You have a lot to gain on this journey. When you put up a good and firm control over TV, a child shouldn't put on TV just like that. You need to actually build a system for that. You need to build a system for that. And if you have a TV in your child's room, remove it. It's not going to help you. Remove it. Put it off. Go and take it off and sell it, dash it to someone who needs it. It's not wokeness to have TV in the rooms and can put in your child's room. It's not wokeness. Go and take it out. Go and dash it to somebody who doesn't have TV. All right? Yes, I said so. Go and dash it to someone who does not have TV. That's what I said. Okay? So remove it. You need to remove it. All right? Let me see if I can see more questions. The responsible teen coach. Yes, that's her name. Etima, not Etima Ubeng. Etima Ume, please. Etima Ubeng Ume, that's her name. All right, I'm still waiting for your question. There's someone who said I didn't answer her question. I want to answer so that we can close. I want to answer, we can close, all right. How can you begin to build your children to be tech savvy? Build them on the things that they can do on tech, instead of the things that, let them not be consumers of tech. Let them be people who can build something on tech. Very important. Let them be people who can build something on tech. All right. Your partner's corporation. All right. I'm seeing a lot. How can I get your books? I'm in Jos. Anybody, all right, who wants a copy of my book in Nigeria will have pickup points. I've said that over and again. In your communities, make payment. I will send you, my team will send you the address of the pickup point in Jos, and you will pick it up. We have in Akure, we have in Ibadan, we have everywhere. In fact, all the pickup points contacts are here in this group, actually, in this lesson, watching. All right. Honestly, this is more than 1,000 naira. Yes, we gave you for free. Please, how can I get hard copies of your book in Lagos? We have pickup points in Lagos. We haven't have a dispatch system in Lagos. Make payment and all the details will be sent to you. Make payment and then you ask for the details. We are asking plenty questions. My team might just get weary. Please, when you make payment, the books will get you. But if you are outside of Nigeria, please buy on Amazon so that you can get hard copies if you want, except you want soft copies. How do I motivate my 11-year-old to read other books aside school books? I do, but a lot she doesn't read. First, start by buying books. How much books do you buy for your children? All right. How much books do you buy for your children? Buy books. Do you understand what her learning style is? Understand that. Do you understand what her interest is? Feed it. Start from there, and that will help you. I've shared that before. Pulling out the TV in my children's room, it was the best thing that happened to me. Oh, yes. Trust me. Very important. Can I give my 9-year-old a phone for Google Classroom. If you want me to advise you clearly, I would say get a laptop. If you can afford to. Even if it's a second-hand laptop, get it is better. It's still far better than just the phone. Get a laptop. Let the children learn the intricacies of using a laptop. Right now, my children can design on PowerPoint. I did a PowerPoint screen last year, and when we were doing the TIP conference, it was the twins that actually designed the PowerPoint presentations that I made. So let the children learn things like that instead. So that will actually do a lot of that. Somebody said, my OCD hinders me. Let your toddler play with sand, please. Please, how can I help a child of 4-year-old learn and understand? Oh, I've answered that. Bukola DK, you say you repeated the question twice. How can I build up my child's self-esteem? Get our guide on self-esteem. It will help you. Get our guide on self-esteem. It will help you. The moment you put that together, you will start building from there. Another thing you need to check is your disciplinary measure. Your disciplinary measure will determine how you build your child's self-esteem. It is key. Key is important. All right. Okay, well, I've looked for the question that you said you shared. Bukola, I can't see it. If you can help me, like I said, you can get it, right? If you want to pick up, how do we encourage a 9-year-old to read? My child rather solve maths than read. I already said the learning style of your child is going to determine a lot. That course on understanding your child learning style will teach you a lot. This class is not for it, all right? For kids content on net, please download YouTube Kids app, just setting to parental control, you're good to go, right? All right. If you can, do not put your children on screen. Reduce screen as much as you can. Reduce screen as much as you can. If you can reduce screen, please reduce screen. All right. One of the things that I would advise you to do is, as you're going, for you to actually do anything and all of that. What are the books you mentioned for your children to learn about puberty? Who is the author? I already shared. Please catch replay. All right. So if you want to actually do this differently, number one, you need to actually take action. I said that yesterday. Do it differently. I want you to actually understand that this is no longer a game. Parenting is no longer a game. It's no longer about going on social media, right? It's no longer of going on social media and ranting and saying, oh, what they are teaching us, what are they saying? If you're still at the stage where you're still arguing, parenting on social media, saying things that, that you're still very long. You're still a long way coming, right? You need to sit yourself down and make, choices and decide what kind of a child you want to build. I like the way that I analyze it. There are two kinds of people that you would like to build. There are two kinds of buildings that you always, build. Number one is a mansion, or you build a shanty, or you build something in between. Mansion, shanty, something in between. That is how your children are. Your child is either a mansion, an ordinary building, or they are a shanty. For you to build a shanty, you do not need so much. Remember? You don't need so much to build a shanty. You just draw a line, put everything, and then the thing will grow. For you to build the mansion, you need professionals. You need to understand what it is that you need to put in. You need to put materials down, and they need to be sophisticated. So anytime you remember these two analyses, and you're told to pay for a book, a course, whatever it is on parenting, think about it. Instead of saying, I beg, after all of these things, they did not tell us and all of that. Just think about it. Is it that you're building a shanty or you're building a mansion? Either way, it is a building. So your child can either be a building of a mansion or build a building of a shanty. And if you want to build the mansion, then you need to put in work. You need to put in work, you need to hire professionals, and you need to do it differently. Are you ready to build a mansion, or you still want to build a shanty? I tell the parents in the inner circles that what you're doing here, committing your time, your resources, everything, it takes a lot to be able to read a book. The parents in the inner circle read one book every month, and I tell you, you can't be at the same level with them. Never. I'm not bragging, but that is the truth. Never. You can never be at the same level with the parents in the inner circle. You can't, no matter how much you try, because they have superior knowledge on many stands. Because they are constantly reading. So you need to put in more on your process. And like the book we're currently reviewing in level 2, it says the child would wait. While you're buying your designer's bags, going on the rings of your career, which is perfect, but just remember that your child is not going to wait. Your child grows every day, changes every day, and every day of your time in life as a parent, something is changing in your child. Don't take that for granted. I hope that this word would help you. Okay, so this is Bukola's question. Say, I observed you avoid to affirm the positive principles you teach. Are you saying it's okay for parents to teach their children whatever they believe in because it's theirs? No, I've already laid the foundation, Bukola. If you listen to me, I've already shared the positive principles I teach. I've shared it, all right? I have refused to share with you my personal convictions on some subjects, and I will stay there. I have shared many of these convictions with parents in the inner circle, and they can tell you for free that I have, and they know where I stand. But these are not parents who are walking a journey with us. There is a knowledge I will share with you that will confuse you on this sex educate your child like a pro. There are knowledge that I have shared on this challenge that only the parents in the inner circle understand exactly what I'm saying. So knowledge can also get overwhelming if you just put it. If you want more, you're looking at the things that I'm sharing and they align with what it is that you want, then you can now begin to look at how you want to work more with me. So that's why I make it a choice. I've shared about sexual purity, and I said something when I was saying it on day 1. I said my value system says that sex is for marriage. It depends on what your value system is. So I don't know how else you want me to say it. So it's okay for you to teach your children from your value system, but it's okay for you to define what those value systems are so that they're not conflicting. So those are your choices. Life is about choices. Even Christ doesn't force people to make choices. All right? Christ doesn't force people to make choices. Where people are doing 2 hours here, just here, right? Dimma said, I'm trying to look for your question. I can't, put it. I saw somebody said, thank you so much. I saw the site, some promos on some combined books. Are they still available? Yes, they are. So if you get in there, you would get it there. Yes, your job is to build a man. If you want to build a mansion, and like I said, Bukola, if you're still listening to me, it's a choice. It's a choice. I need you to make a choice between. I've shared analysis with you, and I've given you the one, this one, and this other one. If you want to build, a mansion, you make a choice. If you want to build a shanty, you also make a choice. Dimma, please, can you send me your question privately? Maybe I can say it. I'm so laughing. God bless the day I found the flyer with it and I started flowing. Thank you, Fonzie. This lady is on fire. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I observe you have vowed to affirm. Okay, I've already answered there. All right. And yes, I like the way Chinyere Obinna has put it. It says, remember that there will be storms of life that will come for both the shanty and the mansion. Which one is going to stand the storms? So as you're building whoever you are building, it is important for you to understand what you are building. No, right? It is very important that you make decisions, all right? You make decisions on what it is that you want for your children. And trust me, that decision cannot come from me. That decision cannot come from me. All right. Somebody said, if my 10-year-old, I've seen the question, told whose friend identifies as a lesbian, who you have told her is a no-no, what else can you do? No, you can, it's not just about saying it's a no-no. Start from the, how to have conversations, and then affirm from your personal convictions and come from there. Don't say no. What should the child also hear about all of that? Right? What should the child hear? I think I shared a lot about how you can broach this conversation on the workbook of Walking Your Child Through Puberty. You know the truth? We can't exhaust this class. You can't exhaust this class. Trust me. If you want to work the journey, even the parents in the inner circle, when I finished last month for our webinar, and I was sharing with them honor, how to build honor as a skill, it's on another different level. If I come now and tell you that your children should not obey you, you will lynch me because you won't get it. But the parents in the inner circle get it. They get it. They understand it. Because I have taught them over the years, over the months, how how this actually should be. I've taught them, so they get it. So if I just come bluntly and just say, your children should not obey you, you're going to go crazy on it. So when I talk about some of these things, I'm saying that it's a process so that I also do not overwhelm you. All right? I also do not overwhelm you. It's just a 5-day class and it stops there. After the 5 days challenge, that's the end. But you need to, if you want to do more for your parenting journey, trust me, then you need to come in. I will recommend the inner circle for you anytime, anything. That's the best thing that you want to do for your journey. I'm not saying it because it's a TIP brag, all right? I am just saying it, right? That because it's going to transform your journey. Okay, so there are a lot of things that I'm restrained to say, no matter how much fire, all right, that we're bringing and breathing here, all right. So it's not just all of that. So yet it's a bit dicey, all right. But from what I have taught you so far, I'm sure you understand that you need to begin from you, and then you will begin to actually put in more. All right. So it is very important. All right. I might not be able to help you, beyond a lot of things, but I know that it can really, really help. If you ask me for what you can do for your journey on 2022, please help. Just say yes to the inner circle and see your life transform. See your parenting journey transform. So nothing, can get you in. Anybody who wants to join the inner circle, you need to send us a private chat. It's a private chat that makes us know that you're serious. Whether you want, it's not even a program that we just put out there for everybody. You need to also be serious. So you need to see what is involved before we actually say yes. So yes, we also do guide taking you into the inner circle. All right. So it's important. CD, if you've been here in all the classes, please take day 1, day 2, day 3, you would understand how to explain that to your children. I think that people are just coming in and then they are just typing in and all of that. Thank you so much, all right, for being here, right? So if you got value, let me see you hit the like button. If you got value, you can also share the fire emojis. How many fire emojis? All right. Private chat to what phone number? Private chat to my private phone number. You will see it on the group. If you are on the group, you will see it. All right. Except you're not on the group on WhatsApp. I'm sure everybody is there. I've shared my private phone number with you. All right. So you can send me those details and I will send you the details in it. And then for the records, the moment we hit, all right, the moment we hit the marks, we will not take you. We do guide very well. Though. So just like we're saying that in 2021, we're not taking anybody and we're not apologetic about it. We're not apologetic about it because it's a process we're running and it's kind of, results that we want to get. Make sure that you're taking screenshots. Make sure that you're sharing what value you got in this class today. Let me see you hit the like button. The like button on this comment. We've done almost 2 hours. Whoa, only parents in the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Bro can do this. All right. Thank you so much, so much, so much. And ensure that you take action today. Get the books, get the guides, start working on your journey. Tomorrow, we're going to be here on the grand finale, sharing with you how you can, share on sex conversation plan. How do you make a plan out of all of this and then begin to walk your journey. But remember that after tomorrow, we're going to shut down our groups and you will not be able to even make comments and all of that. So you would need to actually catch up and all of that. You have we have replays. Replays will be there continuously. All the replays are there, and everything that you need. Send a chat to any of my admin. You see my name on the number when you log in, or you send to any of my admins. The intentional parent, they're going to answer you. All right. But knowing where they stand and family value will help the kids a lot. Oh, yes. Thank you, everybody. Let us see what the fire emojis look like. And as you're sharing it, make sure you're taking screenshots. Make sure that your screenshots are on, right? Because we are also going to be sharing. We're going to open the group so that we will be able to share, what it is that we learned today. All right. So thank you again. Who is excited about tomorrow? I am. Tomorrow we end it, and then we get back into the process. And then some of the things I have also shared here will be broken down for many of the parents who are in the inner circle. We'll break it down, further and all of that. Yes, that's one of the advantages, right? Thank you so much. Make sure that you take screenshots. Make sure that you share what you learned. Make sure that everything that you are learning, that you're putting it into practice. Most importantly, ensure that you're on a journey to building a mansion, one that will stand the storm, and not just a shanty that the storm will raise at the end of the day. If you have more questions, send in a chat privately, and then we'll be able to deal with them. Or catch replays of other sessions, because I think a lot of the questions we're asking have actually been answered. Thank you, and do have an amazing day. See you tomorrow.